And it took me a little while to decide what I was going to do today, because this time of year it's not very easy to get local vegetables that are good for you. That people are not used to putting in a pot for chick's dinner. So I've decided to do parsnips. So apparently parsnips, and I didn't know this until I researched it myself, are absolutely very high in antioxidants, very high in minerals, vitamins. They're super high in soluble and insoluble fiber. They actually, there's been a study in Newcastle, England, at the University of Newcastle, that shows that parsnips actually fight leukemia and colon cancer. So I thought this is a very appropriate vegetable to use. Something that everybody's used to in Newfoundland, whether you like it or you don't. You've seen it. People cook it in Jig's dinner all the time. Probably the only way most people have ever had it. It's a very versatile vegetable. We use it a lot at the restaurant. Today I'm going to make a soup, a puree soup with it. Very much a cream of parsnip or a parsnip bisque. Very simple, straightforward, that anybody can make at home. First off, I'm just going to start with, this is a pound of parsnips here. Yeah, at the grocery store they actually come in 1 pound bags, so it's pretty straightforward. It's probably enough soup for 4 or 5 people once it's done. So we're just going to start, we're going to peel the parsnips. And like I said, most people have had parsnips boiled in Jig's dinner or boiled dinner. But again, they're very versatile, they're really good. You can roast them in the oven with potatoes and other vegetables. They make great chips. You can fry them. A lot of people will argue that frying is not great or incredibly healthy, but it all depends. Frying a vegetable in oil is not the same as frying battered fish. It doesn't really absorb the oil like that. Again, they make great soups or purees, like mashed potato, like even a mashed potato type puree, that type of consistency. So yeah, once we've got parsnips all peeled here, just gonna rough chop them. No need to be too serious about how you're gonna chop them up, because we're gonna cook them till they're pretty much mush anyway. Going to add these to the pot. And then sometimes you can or you don't have to. When you're making puree soups, some vegetables don't really puree great. Parsnip is not one of those, but it does make for a really nice smooth consistency on the soup because of the starch level of potato. So any puree soup you're ever making, and I don't know, a lot of people probably don't make them at home. Pretty simple thing to make and a little bit different than the regular soups that we're used to making at home. But a potato will definitely make all the difference in the consistency of the soup. Again, just rough chop. Potato cooks a lot faster than parsnip, so you don't need to cut it as small. Onion, everybody knows onion is flavor. A little bit of garlic, again, just rough chop. Okay. So you can use chicken stock. Store-bought chicken stock is very high in sodium, so unless you make your own, then I prefer to use water. I do all the time. I said the store-bought stuff is really high in salt. Even the reduced salt stuff is still really high in salt. So you're going to want enough water in here to cover everything, and then just a little more, because as it cooks it'll reduce somewhat. So we're going to put this on here by the magic of TV. I've already had the soup ready. So as the soup is cooking, just going to make a little garnish for the soup. We've got some diced parsnips here, and just going to take some Granny Smith apples. This soup, you'll find, will be rather rich, and parsnips are fairly sweet. Certainly this time of year, they've seen cold weather, it makes them sweeter. So kind of as a little contradiction to the sweetness, we're going to do we're just going to saute some Granny Smith apples. So just your regular green apple. Again, just to add a little contrast to the richness of the soup. So as your soup is cooking here, you know, gonna get your household blender on the go, get set up, ready to go. I'm just gonna puree this soup. Just a little bit at a time. It'll make for a smoother soup. And then yeah, that's pretty much how she goes. So I brought my blender from work here. It's it's 2 horsepower blender, so it's got a bigger motor as a lawnmower does. Not really your household blender, but household one will work just fine. This one would probably take care of rubber boot if it had to. I could easily make rubber boot soup. So yeah, we're just gonna cook this up, just a little parsnip and apple, just kind of something to put in the soup for some texture, like I said, for some acidity. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Alright, so once it comes out of the blender, pour it back into the pot, and you've got a beautiful creamy soup. Okay, so I then hit it with just a little touch of heavy cream. I don't like to put a lot in there, just in this amount of soup, this pot's up to here, I would probably put half a cup. And it's just pretty much to lighten it. It looks a little creamier, smoother. I don't like to put a lot of, because then you're losing the flavor of the pureed vegetable. And some people may think that this is crazy, but I put a little orange juice in here. Again, the soup is very rich, and the acid from the orange juice will lighten it up slightly. 2 citrus juices, lemon, lime, oranges, any citrus at all, take the place of salt. They do the same thing to your taste buds that salt does, so they will give that same taste in your mouth as salt will. They'll help season foods without the addition of salt. Now, with all that salt talk, doesn't go without saying, we're going to put some salt. A little bit's not going to hurt anybody, right? Gotta have salt, your body's full of it. It's essential mineral. And that's pretty much it. That's making puree soup as simple as that. You can make it with, like I said, you can make it with all potatoes. You can make it with carrots, turnips, any vegetable that's firm, celery roots. List just goes on and on. And so it's pretty simple. You can also make cauliflower. Makes a great soup. Broccoli makes a great cream soup. Any of these, cabbage will make an excellent cream soup. Apples themselves, cabbage and apples will make an excellent soup as well. Like I said, making pureed or cream soups are not something that most people do in their homes. There's no reason why. You've seen how long it took me. And the cook time on this would be about a half hour. So by the time a half hour went by, you only went and put a load of laundry on or something. So, very easy, very simple to make at home. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Cooking for